Welcome back, everybody. Here is the first vodcast of actually watching me, almost like it's a homeschool situation for those of you who need a little bit of a boost for the assessments and the quizzes and pop quizzes and so forth. So I thought I'd give you a quick little summary of the large intestine, which we have not discussed in class, but my policy is always to stay a little bit ahead, especially in the honor classes. Got to be prepared for what's to come. So the large intestine, which is right inferior to the small intestine, is approximately 5 feet long, and it's very, very wide compared to the small intestine, which is about 18 to 20 feet long. So don't be confused by the words small and large. It has to do with the diameter of the actual intestine. So the small intestine is about 18 to 20 feet long, very, very narrow, and the large intestine is approximately 5 feet long, coiled within your gut area, okay, and it's very, very wide. And the small intestine functions in digestion and absorption, where the large intestine primarily is responsible for the absorption of water, H2O. So that is the primary function of the large intestine. And in the large intestine, there are little wave-like hairs that are very, very small that are called villi, V-I-L-L-I. And these villi, which mimic the cilia in your nose and in your bronchial airways, they basically push along the food and try to sweep it out and move the water along so it all exits toward the exit end on the rectum and it comes out your body. Okay, so the large intestine basically has a bunch of sections, just like the large intestine. And the large intestine is going to make an upside down U in the way it's determined by its sections. We're going to start in the lower left or the inferior left section, and it's a little pouch-like structure that we call the cecum, C-E-C-U-M. And on the cecum, which is the first real section, there's a little tail-like structure that we call in technical medical terms the variform appendix, or appendix for short. It's a vestigial structure that only serves a function of immunity, little infection control, just like your lymphatic system. So if you have it removed due to an infection, then you can still survive, but your infection control and your immunization levels will be a little bit minimized. Okay? So when we have the appendix tail-like structure, then we have the cecum, we're going to go up to the first main section called the ascending colon. And colon is a word that is synonymous with large intestine. It is the medical jargon from the Latin referring to intestine. So if the ascending colon goes up and it goes across, and remember the word that I've talked about that means across, the prefix, like blank plane, where it divides you into superior and inferior halves. You got it? Okay, Jemiah, Anaya, Kayla, Kylie, Marissa, that's right, transverse. So we have the transverse colon, which is going across. And then we go down, and we're going down a mountain, so we're descending again, descending colon. And we end in this little S-shaped turn of a highway. That S stands for sigmoid. Sigmoid. Everything has a Latin and a medical twist, so you have to kind of get the jargon of all the words as is used in medicine. Okay, sigmoid colon, and it ends in another structure that's very muscular called the rectum, and the rectum has a little opening on the end called the anal opening, or the anus. That's where all the waste products exit. And there's sphincter muscles that help push it out, and the whole intestine has smooth muscle lining it that's going to help with those little contractions for the villi, pushing everything down in hopefully a good regular motion. I'm going to show you a picture in the book. Okay, on page 426, if you look at your left side of the picture right there, okay, right where I'm pointing over here, okay, there's the picture, cecum and the appendix, ascending colon, oops, wrong way, transverse colon, and I guess I can't do that, there we go, and descending colon, okay? So you're gonna have somebody talk about a procedure called a colonoscopy, which is a scope going inside in this little metal rod into your intestine through your anal opening, and they kind of take a picture with a little camera on the end, and they want to see if you have any kind of cancerous cells, any kind of blockages in there. They look for hemorrhoids, which are very big, bumpy outpocketings of cells that can cause irritation big time and itching and so forth. Okay, and if they open up, they bleed. And they kind of go up and down your intestine, taking pictures at different angles and watching to see if there's anything peculiar or abnormal that they need to take care of. Okay? And they usually give you this disgusting little fluid to drink that's going to clean out all your intestines. So you spend about 24 hours in the bathroom, vomiting, diarrhea, the whole thing, because you don't want to go through there and have an accident with this tube in you. So they have to make sure you have no contents left in your intestine. Okay, so that is the quick summary of the intestine. Again, we're trying to keep you ahead. Don't be embarrassed to use the tape. Watch it more than one time. Just for courtesy and legality's sake, do not upload this to a YouTube. Do not show your friends and have you Facebooking and using anything without my consent. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll see you guys in class. Live to love science. Okay, Catman out. Yeah.